If you're not sure what grant is available for you to buy HDB, then this is the right video for you. In this video, I'm going to discuss what are the types of grants available for couples and families, but I'm also going to discuss what type of grants available for singles, including if you are buying with someone else under the joint single scheme or the orphan scheme. So stay tuned until the end. As you know, there are different types of grants. Got enhanced CPF housing grant lah, proximity housing grant lah, step-up grant lah, etc. Some can be used for BTO or SBF, and some can be used for resale, and also some can be used for both. On one hand, it's great that the government provided so many different grants to support different life scenarios, right? But on the other hand, it can be quite confusing. Let's start with HDB grants for couples and families before we talk about HDB grants for singles. One of the best explanations that I have ever seen is this flowchart made by the 99.co website, so shout out to them. The first question is, are you both first-timers? There's a lot more detailed definition of what a first-timer is, but basically you cannot currently own or have sold a flat that was purchased using a CPF grant before. And you also should never have gotten a SIRS or other housing benefits in the past. Let's assume that both are first-timers. Then the next question is whether you are buying BTO or buying resale. If you are buying BTO or SBF and the monthly household income exceeds 9K, then you are not eligible for the enhanced CPF housing grant. But if it's under $9,000, then you can get the enhanced CPF housing grant. If you are buying a resale and your monthly household income is under $14,000, then you can get family grant. If your monthly household income is even lower and under $9,000, then you can get the enhanced CPF housing grant. Next is the proximity housing grant. For this grant, it's okay if your monthly household income exceeds $14,000 as long as you are going to live with or within 4 kilometers away from your parents or children, and you can get the proximity housing grant when buying a resale flat. What about BTO? No. So, proximity housing grant is specifically designed for those who want to buy a resale HDB flat to encourage families and singles to live near their parents or children. What if one of you is a second-timer and wants to buy a resale flat? Well, if your monthly household income did not exceed $14,000, then you can qualify for a family grant. Proximity housing grant also applies as it doesn't care about your monthly household income and at least one of the buyers is a first-timer. Now, if you are buying BTO or SBF and half of the total average monthly household income is under $4,500, then you can get the enhanced housing grant. What about if both of you are a second-timers? Well, if your monthly household income is under $7,000 and you are currently living in a rental flat or a two-room subsidized flat, you may be eligible for step-up CPF housing grant. There has been a slight change on the ruling, so it depends when did you buy the two-room flat. If it was bought from HDB after October 2024, then it has to be a standard flat or bought on the open market using CPF housing grant. Or if you buy it from HDB before October 2024, then it has to be two-room flat in a non-mature estate or bought from the open market with CPF housing grant. What if your monthly household income exceeds $7,000? Then, unfortunately, no grant for you if both of you are a second-timers. So, how much can you get? This is a matrix that is really helpful, again, courtesy of 99.co. The grant amount will depend on your monthly household income, and it can also depend on what type of flat you are getting. I'm not going to go through line by line, but feel free to pause the video to take a screenshot. But as you can see, definitely there are more grants that you can get if you buy a resale flat. This is because a resale flat is generally more expensive than BTO. At the moment, interestingly, the price of the flat is not part of a consideration on how much grant that you can get. So in theory, you could possibly have a low monthly household income, let's say because you're just starting your career, but you have a rich family to back you up, then you can still get various grants even if you are buying, say, a $1 million HDB flat. But if the resale flat prices are increasing significantly, who knows? Maybe this would be one of those areas that will be refined with cooling measures. Okay, now, how about singles? What HDB grants can singles have? If you are buying BTO or SBF alone and your monthly household income exceeds $4,500, then you are not eligible for the enhanced CPF housing grant. But if it's under $4,500, then yes, you can get the enhanced CPF housing grant. If you are single buying a resale HDB flat alone and your average household income is under $4,500, then you can also get the enhanced CPF housing grant. But if it's above $7,000, then you can get the proximity housing grant if you are going to live within 4 kilometers of your parents or children. Okay, now let's talk if you are buying the flat with someone else under the joint single scheme or the orphan scheme. If buying BTO or SBF, then you can get the enhanced CPF housing grant if your average household income is under $9,000. Otherwise, no grant. If you are buying a resale flat and the average household income of you and the co-applicants are under $14,000, then you might be eligible for the step-up CPF housing grant. Then, as usual for resale, if you are going to live within 4 kilometers from your parents or children, then the income level doesn't really matter and you can still be eligible to get the proximity housing grant. Here's a recap what grant singles can get along with the range of the grant amount. As we can see, again, resale flats have more grants because the prices are higher versus BTO or SBF. I hope this helps to demystify how HDB grants work. Personally, this is one of the most complex topics I have ever discussed on this channel, so please don't take my word for it. I could be wrong. Please go to the HDB website for more details. By the way, if all of this talk about grants sounds confusing, don't worry. When you apply for an HDB flat eligibility or HFE letter via the HDB portal, the system will guide you on what grant you are eligible for and how much grant you can get. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.